Paramount has announced John Hughes' classic comedy Pretty in Pink is coming to 4K. Vinegar Syndrome announced a 4K edition of Michael Mann's The Keep, and apparently it's already sold out. Arrow Video announces their new February slate, including William Friedkin's Cruisin' on 4K. We got some new Roger Corman 4K rumors from Screen Factory. The sequel to Chinatown, The Two Jakes, gets a 4K announcement from Kino Lorber. And after all these years, we finally have that official announcement for Constantine on 4K and the release date. All this and more in the next Physical Media Report. Stay tuned. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Mid-Level Media channel, your hub for everything physical media and entertainment. I am Ken. Today, guys, we are here for the Physical Media Report, episode 241. That is right, guys, your weekly dose of physical media goodness, where we talk about everything new and exciting in the world of 4K and Blu-ray. And look, guys, we've got some cool stuff to talk about today. Some of the stuff I've talked about before in previous videos. I think on Friday I did Arrow Video announcements. I talked about the new Lionsgate site. We'll get into that stuff again today, but we've got a host of new rumors and announcements to discuss today. But before we get into it, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. I would appreciate that, because we talk about all things physical media on this channel all the time. Okay, I'm doing this stuff every single day. So if you like 4Ks and Blu-rays and all the stuff that's behind me right there, hit that subscribe button. Also hit the like button, and then comment down below of everything that we talk about here today. What are you the most excited about? What are you the most amped up for? And what gets those juices flowing the most? Let me know in that comment section below. And let's just go ahead and get into it, guys. Let's start with the rumors. And the rumors that we're talking about today are coming from good old Screen Factory. So Screen Factory, I don't know what's going on over there, but they always get their rumors leaked early. And I'm assuming that Screen Factory is going to actually announce these. They're not actually announced yet. But usually when we get rumors for Screen Factory and actual images, like, those are pretty much going to happen at some point. So these are probably going to get announced at some point this week, but we have them leaked. We know pretty much what's coming from Screen Factory. Again, Screen Factory, get your stuff under control. You know, control these leaks, actually have dates for when you announce stuff. I don't know what's going on over there, guys. Screen Factory is just a mess sometimes. But let's talk about these titles, because I can see some people being like, I don't know about this. This is not a good month for Screen Factory. And I can see others being like, oh, this is one of the best months for Screen Factory. So let me know where you lie in the comment section below. Let's get into it. We've got Sick coming to 4K from Screen Factory. So this is pretty cool, because this was I think it was a streaming movie. It was a Peacock original. My wife and I watched it on Peacock. I don't think it got any kind of theatrical run, but it's a newer slasher film. It's a Blumhouse movie. It was written by Kevin Williamson. I don't think it was directed by him, but it was written by him, the guy who wrote the Scream movie. So it has that kind of, new age slasher feel to it, or more 90s kind of slasher feel to it. This is a movie that, going into it, I was like, this is not going to be good. Like, it didn't start off very good. I didn't like the characters. Thought they were very annoying. But it's a movie that honestly, like, just kept surprising me as it went. And by the time I got to the end, I was like, that was actually a really decent, like, home invasion slasher film. So kind of with the COVID influence as well. And I think that's kind of what turned a lot of people off. Everybody was this is 2023 when this movie came out, and they're still talking about COVID. I think it was filmed during COVID, and people were just kind of over that kind of stuff at that point, especially when it was seeping into their film. So I don't think a lot of people check this one out, but it actually is kind of an underrated, I'd say, modern slasher for sure. So Sick is getting a 4K from Screen Factory. It's also cool because, again, it's a streaming movie that did get a DVD release. There was a DVD release of Sick, and I think it was in Target. I remember it being a long time ago, maybe Walmart as well. It never got a Blu-ray, though. It never got a Blu-ray. So this is a first time to Blu-ray and 4K for this movie, which, we just got Hush, that came out on 4K. So I'm all for these streaming movies getting these premiere physical releases. And if Screen Factory is going to be the one to do that, then that's a cool little spot for Screen Factory to be at this point, I think. So I will probably get this. I don't know if I'll get it day one, but I'll get it some point down the line. We've also got some Roger Corman stuff coming. Galaxy of Terror is coming to 4K. Now, I will admit it right now, guys, I have not seen either of these movies I'm getting ready to talk about, but we got Galaxy of Terror on 4K, and we've also got Humanoids from the Deep. So I don't have either one of these in the collection. These are probably going to be ones that I add to the collection, because I have heard good things about both of these films. But yeah, Galaxy of Terror and Humanoids from the Deep are both, rumored to be coming to 4K from Screen Factory, and they already have Blu-rays from Screen Factory, but I'm pretty sure that they're older Blu-rays. So these are probably going to be significant upgrades of those. And I can imagine a lot of people are going to be excited for both Galaxy of Terror and Humanoids from the Deep. And I can see both of those like getting some kind of like multi slipcover editions with some extras, maybe some pins, maybe because it's Roger Corman. I don't know. I'm just kind of predicting that, but anticipate some extras with those, I think. And the last one, the rumor from Screen Factory is Ghosts of Mars, John Carpenter film. I guess they're going to do every single John Carpenter film on 4K, except In the Mouth of Madness, which is the one I really want them to do on 4K. Of course, Big Trouble Little China notoriously does not have a 4K. Everybody wants that on 4K. The unfortunate thing about that movie is it's owned by Disney through Fox. So unless Disney does it, unless they let Screen Factory or somebody else do it, I don't think we're going to see that. But Ghosts of Mars, like, okay, like I've seen Ghost of Mars once. It doesn't have a cool edition, like it has like a Mill Creek Blu-ray or something. So I guess it's cool that they're putting this one in the Screen Factory collection to join the other John Carpenter films because it hasn't been in the Screen Factory collection previously. But yeah, I mean, if you're a John Carpenter completionist, like I'm sure that you want to add this movie to the collection. But I've only seen the movie once, and I never felt like revisiting it. I'll probably get it on 4K just because I don't have it in the collection and I haven't seen it for quite some time. Maybe it holds up better than I remember. But yeah, Ghosts of Mars. Are you excited for that? I really like we need In the Mouth of Madness. Feels like they're going to do every single John Carpenter movie except In the Mouth of Madness. And I think that Screen Factory still has the rights to that. I just don't understand, like, how do you see Ghost of Mars as being more popular than In the Mouth of Madness? I guess it is. I don't know, but like that movie I need on 4K. And they keep doing all these other ones like Village of the Damned and Vampires and Ghost of Mars. They'll probably do The Ward next on 4K before they freaking Memoirs of an Invisible Man before they do In the Mouth of Madness. But I don't know, guys. What do you think of Ghost of Mars? This one, I'm sure, because all the Carpenter stuff usually does, is going to get multiple like slip covers and probably pins and all that stuff for pins for Ghosts of Mars. Can you imagine? That's what we're going to get, guys. But that's the rumors, guys. Let's go ahead and get into the actual news and announcements. So Pretty in Pink was announced to come to 4K last week from Paramount on February the 11th. This is going to be a native 4K with HDR and Dolby Vision. And yeah, cool. I mean, I think the 16 Candles does not have a 4K. They got a Blu-ray special edition from Arrow Video, but they don't have a 4K yet. But of course, Weird Science does, and now we've got Pretty in Pink. So they're upgrading the John Hughes classics. We still need the Breakfast Club. I don't understand why we don't have the Breakfast Club yet. Why Universal hasn't done that, or they haven't let Criterion do that. I don't know. But Pretty in Pink it's okay. Like I honestly don't love Pretty in Pink. I don't love 16 Candles either. Like they're probably my least favorite John Hughes directed films. They're still enjoyable, I guess, for that time period, but I'm not like a massive fan. I've got the Paramount Presents Pretty in Pink, and I'm probably going to be okay with that. So I don't need the 4K of this one. Again, this is interesting also because we've been seeing with the Paramount Presents titles with Paramount, and this just adds into the no consistency with this line like whatsoever. But we've seen with this line that when they upgrade stuff to 4K that comes from this line, they'll either do a standard version of it, like Once Upon a Time in the West. Well, actually, that was a 4K already. But they'll either do a standard version of it, like Fatal Attraction, or I think what was the other title? I can't remember. But 48 Hours, they upgraded and did a standard edition. Or they'll do an upgrade within the line, and they'll make it a Paramount Presents title as well. Like you have the recent one that came out, the Hitchcock film, To Catch a Thief, just got a 4K. Ghost just got a 4K, and these were upgraded within the Paramount Presents line, meaning that they still had the fold out packaging and all the stuff that came with the Paramount Presents Blu-ray back in the day. So it's interesting to see them going back because I thought that was a new trend. I figured Pretty in Pink, if they were going to do this one in 4K, it would look just like the Paramount Presents edition and they would just upgrade it to 4K. But I guess maybe they're pulling back on that or they're just picking and choosing which titles they want to do. I don't know where the logic lies with this. Like that's the whole thing with the Paramount Presents line and upgrading stuff to 4K. I don't understand exactly what they're doing with this. and this line. And I think for collectors that collect within that line, like it's extremely annoying to have to upgrade something to 4K. Like say you bought that and you're a huge fan of Pretty in Pink, like you want to upgrade it, but now you don't want to get rid of the Paramount Presents edition because it's in the line, it's a numbered sequence. Like some collectors are like that, and I respect that. Like I'm not necessarily a numbered line kind of guy, but I respect that mentality. Now you want to upgrade it to 4K. Now you have to keep that in the collection, that Blu-ray. Whereas if they upgraded it within the Paramount Presents line, these are first world collector problems, guys. I understand that at the end of the day, this is not super serious. But if you want to upgrade that, if you could upgrade that within the line, you could just replace your Blu-ray, and that's it. You still have the same number and everything. So I don't understand. This is like a lack of understanding the collector by Paramount, in my opinion. But Pretty in Pink, guys, if you just want to see it in 4K, you want the 4K, there you go. It's coming out February the 11th. We've also got a standard 4K edition of Trick or Treat, which this big edition, the big box set edition, which I reviewed on the channel a couple of weeks ago, actually sold out. So it's cool they're doing a standard version. It looks like a standard version with a slipcover, which is nice. And it actually looks like a pretty damn cool slipcover as well. So really cool looking edition. I'm sure it's going to have all the same special features, the documentary, all that good stuff. Coming out from Synops and Red Shirt Pictures, March the 11th. So if you missed out on that box set, you're going to be able to get a standard version of that in March of next year. We also have another A24 Blu-ray exclusive. We have We Live in Time. This is a movie starring Andrew Garfield and Florence Pugh. And this is coming out on January the 7th. So you can actually pre-order this now from the A24 website, but it's not supposed to ship until January the 7th. And it's going for $30 right now on the A24 website. So this movie, I think, is getting quite a bit of hype, maybe some Oscar buzz as well. Again, it's an A24 film. I'm not too familiar with what it is. But the one interesting thing about these A24 exclusives is that A24 movies usually are distributed by Lionsgate. They'll get Lionsgate Blu-rays or Lionsgate 4Ks. Now, when they decide to do a special edition of one of their movies like this, it usually does not come out from Lionsgate. So this may be the only way that you can own We Live in Time on physical media is through the A24 website, because a lot of their stuff, like I saw the TV Glow just came out, Zone of Interest, the one movie with Kristen Stewart in it. I can't remember the name of that one, but those are all A24 exclusives. Those have not been made available any other way other than the A24 website. So some of these are exclusive to that website. Now they're still available. You can still get them, but they are exclusive to that website. You have to get these special editions if you want those releases. All right, let's move on to Constantine coming to 4K. Finally, we got some kind of announcement for this, official announcement. We've been having rumors and UK editions announced, but in the States, Constantine is supposed to be coming to 4K from Warner Brothers on February the 18th. There will be a standard version, and according to Blu-ray.com, there will be a steelbook version as well. So that's kind of in line with the Warner Brothers model. They'll put out the 4K, and they'll also put out a 4K steelbook. It'll probably pop up on Groove first, and then it'll come up on Amazon. So yeah, Constantine coming to 4K. I feel like I talked about Constantine coming to 4K, like the rumor for that, back on like Physical Media Report, like episode 55 or something. Like it was a long time ago that I discussed Constantine first coming to 4K. So this is one that's been a long time in the works for sure. But Constantine is a movie that I saw in the theaters back in 2005, and I just remember it like not grabbing me. Like I did not enjoy Constantine all that much. It is one that I feel like maybe I'll appreciate more. There's a lot of movies I'll go back and watch and I'll appreciate more as I get older. So this is one I'll absolutely get on 4K. Probably do a review for this one as well. So yeah, I am kind of excited to get Constantine on 4K. Let's talk about the Arrow video announcements for the month of February. These were announced last Friday. I did an entire video on it. So if you want like my more in-depth thoughts on this, you can go check out that video. But we got some cool stuff coming from Arrow Video in February. I think this is overall a good month. This is kind of the whole slate right here. But we have Alice Sweet Alice coming to 4K. That's coming out on February the 11th. And there's also an Arrow Video exclusive as well. We've also got Cruisin', which is a release that I am super excited about. This is a 4K big box set release. This also has new features included as well, which I think is really cool. I think there's new features for Alice Sweet Alice as well. And I think this is like a new packaging, because the original Blu-ray that came out from Arrow Video of Cruisin' did not have this same artwork. It did not have the same artwork, and it didn't have the same packaging. I don't think it was in a big box set like this appears to be. So this is Arrow Video kind of turning over a new leaf, because usually when they upgrade stuff, they'll do it like the exact same way. They'll do it the exact same way as they did before. So I do think this is kind of interesting. An interesting thing that Arrow Video is doing with the Cruisin' movie on 4K. But if you haven't seen Cruisin', like, this is just one of the best William Friedkin films and one of the best Al Pacino performances. I love the movie. It's a little controversial. It was very controversial back when it came out. But I thought it was great. Like, honestly, I would say it's kind of slasher adjacent, kind of reminds you of an Italian giallo film, just the way it's kind of set up and the mystery and everything. But it's a great movie, such a great film for sure. But Al Pacino and Cruisin', highly recommend that if you haven't seen that movie before. We've also got A Certain Killer and A Killer's Key. This is a double pack release right here, 2 movies on Blu-ray, coming out on February the 11th. And Cruisin's coming out February the 25th, guys. Forgot to mention that. We got Life Force. This is a UK only release right here. The interesting thing about this 4K is the Screen Factory release did not have the director's cut in 4K. This does. This has both cuts on 4K, so you may want to get this if you got the Screen Factory release. Maybe sell that one. Get this one if you want both cuts on 4K. So this is coming out on 4K in the UK, not here because Screen Factory has the rights in the US, but this is coming out February the 17th. We've also got another TCM2 release right here. This is a 4K release of Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. And very cool release, guys. I'm really trying to resist this one because I have a great edition of TCM2 on 4K from Vinegar Syndrome, but the artwork is freaking awesome on this, for sure. I don't know if is that Footloose like inspired poster right there? Is that new? Like, I've seen the Breakfast Club one, obviously, like that's the main one, but is the Footloose one inspired one? Is that a new one for this release? I'm not exactly sure. I'm sure it's not, but very cool. You got all kinds of cool collectibles in there. It looks like you have a chili cook-off sheet down there as well, which is pretty damn awesome. But I love this movie so much. Like, it's going to be hard for me to resist the double dip on this. But this is coming out on February the 17th. This is a UK only release because obviously we already have it on 4K here in the States, and Vinegar Syndrome has the rights. But I think this has all the features from the Screen Factory release. It does not have the special features from the Vinegar Syndrome release. And I don't think it has the documentary either as well. But it does have 2 new video essays, and it has a new audio commentary as well. There's also a Blu-ray only option if you just want to get that. But it's a cool, release for people that live in the UK that maybe couldn't get that Vinegar Syndrome release. And if you just want a cool, release of Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 and you missed the Vinegar Syndrome in the States, this is also a cool option for you to get. And then we got The Last Stop in Yuma County, which also has an Umbrella Blu-ray coming, but this is a Blu-ray set coming out in the UK only on February the 17th. So that's the Arrow Video February announcements. Let me know if you're excited for any of those in the comment section below. We also have some Vinegar Syndrome announcements that they sorry guys, I'm messing up my rewards again, that they dropped. I'm going to learn how to talk eventually, guys, that they dropped on Thursday night at midnight. So Thanksgiving at midnight, the Black Friday announcements, they announced Michael Mann's The Keep on 4K. And I would tell you to get excited for this. This is why you all need to keep up with my content, because I did a video about this on Friday talking about the Vinegar Syndrome announcements with the Arrow Video announcements. But the Keep 4K box set, they started off with 12,000 units, okay? And look, this is a good sign for physical media. This is a good sign that physical media is alive and well. People are interested in the hobby. But the Keep 4K box set sold out. Not only did the limited edition box set sell out, the regular standard edition sold out as well. They have no more copies of the Keep on 4K currently right now, Vinegar Syndrome. Are they going to press and do more? Maybe of the standard version. They're not going to do any more of the box set because those are limited to 12,000. But I thought that was really, like last year, we kind of saw that with Existence, David Cronenberg's Existence. I don't think that people saw that flying off the shelves as quick as it did, but that was 8,000 units, and that went out before the weekend's end. The Keep was 12,000 units, so they even prepared for this, and it still sold out before the weekend end. Like, I think it sold out last night, which I'm filming this on Sunday. So last night would have meant Saturday. This lasted like 48 hours. 12,000 units lasted 48 hours for Michael Mann's The Keep. So again, this is why I make videos, guys, when some of this more important stuff gets announced, because I want you guys to be in the loop on it. So you guys got to keep up with the content, because if you missed out on this, I don't know what to tell you. I don't think it's going to be back. I don't think it's going to be back. And people are already charging $200 for this damn thing on eBay right now. So I would not recommend paying those prices. Just wait for the standard edition to come back and just get that and cut your losses there. But like, people are ruthless in this physical media game. Like, you got to be on top of it, especially when you come to it comes to Vinegar Syndrome stuff. Like, it's absolutely crazy. You also got Sliver, which the entire video I did last Friday, guys, I was announcing this Silver. It's not Silver, it's Sliver, which I knew it was Sliver, but I just kept saying that for some reason. Sliver is getting a 4K box set. This is a movie starring Sharon Stone and also Stephen Baldwin. So this is a 90s erotic thriller. And this one I think is also kind of low with this stock. I think it's dropping pretty drastically. So you may want to jump on this if you want it, but really cool box set release. This is a 4K set of Sliver. And then we also got Who Killed Teddy Bear as well. This is a 4K release as a part of the Cinematograph line. So that's the three big announcements from Vinegar Syndrome. The Keep being obviously the biggest one. Like this, apparently the Keep, like, I don't think it's been released on any kind of home video form since like VHS, and it was very limited when it was on VHS. So it's just a movie that people have been waiting for a long time to get some kind of proper physical media release. And again, this is what Vinegar Syndrome is great at. Like, they're great at going back in film history and taking these more obscure films and upgrading them to 4K. Like, that's why people love Vinegar Syndrome. But yeah, if you missed out on the Keep, I'm sorry. I don't think an edition like this will be back again, at least not from Vinegar Syndrome. But yeah, again, that's why you got to keep up with the content here on the channel. We've also got Revenge of the Radioactive Reporter. So this is coming out from TerrorVision, and TerrorVision's been announcing some cool stuff. I've liked some of the stuff they've done this year, like Frogman. I'm looking forward to Rumpelstiltskin coming to 4K. And this is another obscure horror classic, I think from the 80s. I don't know too much about this film. I've heard some people saying it's great. I don't know if I'm going to get it or not. Maybe I'll get it because I do like their box sets and stuff like that. But maybe I need to do just a little bit more research on this one. I've heard it's kind of goofy, like Toxic Avenger, and I like the Toxic Avenger movie, so maybe I will enjoy this. But this is on the TerrorVision website as of right now. You can pre-order this. I don't think it's sold out or anything yet, because it's not as high a profile of releases like Rumpelstiltskin or something, but it's still in stock. And I think this is the fourth 4K that TerrorVision has done. So yeah, very cool. If you're interested in Revenge of the Radioactive Reporter, it's got a ton of features. This is the box set package right here. I think there are two editions of this. I think there's one smaller box set release that's like 45 bucks. And then there's a bigger box set that's like 80 bucks. But yeah, if you're interested in that, you can jump on the TerrorVision website. And also, speaking of websites, guys, Lionsgate launched a new website, and they included 2 new exclusive steelbooks. I did an entire video about this last Friday, but they got a Conversation 4K steelbook box set release on this website. You can only get it on the Lionsgate website. Lionsgate is trying to start a direct-to-consumer website, cut out the middleman, just sell their steelbooks through their own website. I think that's a cool idea, but it's seemingly not made the prices cheaper, which you would assume it would, because they're doing it directly through themselves. They don't have to pay anybody else to distribute their product, but it seems to make the prices go up. Like this release right here that got this Conversation 4K steelbook is $80. I don't necessarily have an issue with that. Like, it's a nice like box set release right here with booklets, and it's got a cassette tape and stuff like that. But I do have an issue with not like offering a standard steelbook edition for maybe 35 bucks, because I don't want to pay $80 to get a 4K of the Conversation. Like, to be honest, like, I haven't seen the movie. Like, maybe it's not going to, like, that kind of stuff is for like my favorites of all time. Like, paying $80 for a release, my favorites of all time. Yes, I've splurged and blind bought some stuff for like 65 to 70, but $80, like, that is a stretch right there. Yes, it's a Francis Ford Coppola film. I'm sure it's fantastic, but again, $80, like, why not include like a dumbed down version of this? But this is on their website right now. I will try to link that website down below. I think it's called Lionsgate Direct, or I can't quite remember what it's called. But we also have an Apocalypse Now 4K Steelbook Edition. Now, the cool thing about this is they did a Apocalypse Now 4K Steelbook, I think back in 2021. it only included the final cuts on 4K and also Blu-ray. So this is cool because this includes Redux and it also includes the theatrical cut. And I think all those were on 4K. At least the theatrical cut was on 4K. Now, this is pretty much a steelbook re-release of the 6-disc like box set release that they put out. It was kind of like a fold-out digipack release that they did back in 2019. I actually got that release, and that has the 6 discs on it, but that went out of print. So it's cool they're putting this back in stock because now you can get all the cuts on 4K again. It also has the In Heart. I think it's called. What was it called? In the Heart of Darkness, the documentary, The Making of Apocalypse Now. So yeah, very cool. They're putting this back in stock just because it puts those six discs back in stock and gives people more of an opportunity to get this release. But yeah, I won't be getting this. It's a $40 steelbook. Sure, $40, 6 discs. I get it. It's kind of worth it. But again, I paid $18 to get the 6 disc set brand new back in 2019. So it does feel like it's a little inflated now with the prices. Like maybe it could have been 35 bucks instead of 40. It's still a great set though. It's got all kinds of stuff. It's well worth 40 bucks. It's well worth 40 bucks with 6 discs, well worth 40 bucks. But again, I paid half that, less than half that, just 5 years ago. So that just goes to show you like where Lionsgate was 5 years ago and where they're at now. But I think this is a cool idea. Apparently the Tarantino stuff, the Kill Bills and the Jackie Brown, like they're going to have exclusive steelbooks on the website. So definitely be looking out for that. I'm going to be updating you guys of that as they get announced for sure. But if you want those, I will link them down below. We've also got the 2 Jakes. This is coming to 4K from Kino Lorber. So this was announced kind of like a coming soon announcement, no official release date. But of course, the 2 Jakes was included in the Chinatown 4K release, but it was not on 4K. So now if you want the 2 Jakes on 4K, the sequel, you can get it from Kino Lorber. So very cool. We've also got the River Wild, which I've heard some great things about this movie. It's got Kevin Bacon in it. This is getting a 4K as well from Kino Lorber, and this is another announcement, kind of like pre-announcement, no official release date or anything like that. But again, you are getting the 2 Jakes, and we are getting the River Wild on 4K at some point. We've also got the new Clint Eastwood movie, Juror Number 2. Now, from what I understand, this might be Clint Eastwood's last film, or maybe he's got one more that's coming out. But this is a movie starring Nicholas Hoult, Toni Collette, J.K. Simmons, Kiefer Sutherland's got a great cast. Honestly, like I hadn't really heard too much about this, but this is getting a Blu-ray release only, and it is coming out on February the 4th. We've also got a release date for The Substance on 4K. This is coming out from Mubi. And yeah, it looks like a cool release. Like I haven't really bought any of the Mubi releases. I'm kind of hoping that we get some kind of like box set release from this from maybe Second Sight at some point. But this is getting a Mubi 4K release January the 21st. And there's also a Blu-ray release that's coming along with it. But The Substance, guys, that's one of the best movies of 2024. I'll absolutely be getting that at some point, but I might hold off just for a little bit to wait and see if something better comes along. We've also got Bravido Giallo. This is 4 horror films directed by Lamberto Bava. This is coming out from Cauldron Films. Really nice box set. Cauldron Films is really making a name for themselves, doing some really cool box sets for sure. I know they had one earlier this year, but this includes the films Graveyard Disturbance, Until Death, The Ogre, and Dinner with a Vampire. And these are all Blu-rays with 4K scans. So very cool. Some of the more underseen Lamberto Bava works getting a nice box set release. This is one that, because I do like Lamberto Bava, he's done some stuff I enjoy. This is one that this is a bigger picture of it, guys. This is one I may bite on. I may get this one because I do like the Italian horror stuff, but really cool box set coming out from Cauldron Films. And this one is coming out. Did I say when it was coming out? This is coming out sometime. Oh no, this one coming out April the 29th. So this is coming out way in the future. Is that Italian horror Lamberto Bava box set? We've also got Venom coming to 4K. Not the Tom Hardy movies, guys. This is an older film. I think from the 80s. It's got Klaus Kinski in it. So this is coming out from Blue Underground March the 25th. So I don't know too much about Venom, but maybe you should get excited for that. We've also got Over the Top getting a 4K announcement. This is coming out from Cape Light Pictures in Germany in April, and it's going to be having Dolby Vision on this 4K as well. So I bring this up because it's Cauldron Films. It's in Germany. You will be able to import this release when it gets officially announced. But I'm sure that Over the Top at some point will get some kind of a special edition here in the States. Now, I don't know if it's going to be something that maybe Vinegar. Like a lot of people have speculated Vinegar Syndrome may do a VSU edition of Over the Top at some point, which I think would be fantastic to have Stallone in the Vinegar Syndrome catalog. But I could see it coming out from somewhere else, maybe an Arrow Video, maybe a Screen Factory at some point. Like I think Over the Top has that kind of like, it's not a horror film, but it kind of has that like cult status to it. So I could see that coming out from some kind of boutique label at some point. But that's the news and announcements, guys. Let's go ahead and jump into the deals. We got a lot of really good deals going on right now. We've got the Criterion sale going on until the end of today. It actually ends today, December the 2nd. But we also got the Kino Lorber sale that started up over the weekend. So this is going on until December the 16th. So tons of Kino Lorber 4Ks and Blu-rays. I actually put it in order on there. I just cannot resist the Kino Lorber sales. But they got a 4K, tons of 4Ks and Blu-rays. Blu-rays as low as $4.99. 4Ks are like $17.99, $18.99. But Kino Lorber always does a great job with their sales, so definitely check those out. And let me share some of the Amazon sales that are ongoing right now. Obviously, we're going to have some more with Cyber Monday. I will link as many sales as I possibly can, guys, on Cyber Monday if there are new sales. I try to link as many Black Friday sales as I could, but I can't always get to everything. I do have a day job, guys, so I can't be at home just linking stuff all day. But, you know, right now we've got Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, $12.99. Doom Part 2, $12.99. So we still got a lot of these deals and sales, and I'll have all this stuff linked down below, guys. I'll have pre-orders linked down below. I'll have stuff that's new that's coming out this week linked down below. I like to put as many links for you guys down below. Now, they are Amazon affiliate links. They do help support the channel if you use them. So I do encourage you to use them if you're interested in any of these titles. Lord of the Rings set, $54.99. A lot of this stuff we've seen before. I've talked about before, but The Quick and the Dead, that's a new one, $14.24. Trying to see if there's any new ones here. They actually brought the Deadpool and Wolverine steelbook back in stock. I don't know if anybody really noticed that, but that's $49.99 to get that steelbook. I guess that's better than $65 to $70 to get that steelbook. I don't know if the other version of the steelbook is available though. Whiplash, which is one of my all-time favorite movies. That's the best movie of the 2010s in my opinion. That's $13.99 if you want to get that on 4K. White Christmas dropped to $20.29. I actually jumped on that deal when it dropped in price. The Heavy Metal 2-film Steelbook 4K collection is $19.99. Back to the Future 4K is $29.99. Horizon $12.99. So a lot of good deals. We Were Soldiers dropped down to $29 on 4K. Edge of Tomorrow's $10.99. Bad Boys Ride or Die is $16.99. The Way We Were is $12.49. So there's some good stuff, guys. Again, I'll link this stuff down below in the description. Oh, the Titanic set, guys, from Paramount actually dropped to $68.99. I think when that thing came out, that special edition box set release, I think it was like $120. So it's pretty much dropped 40% since it came out last year. So you may want to jump on that if you're interested in Titanic. I've actually got it in the collection. It's a nice set. It was not worth $120, but I could probably recommend it for $70 for sure. But that's the Amazon deals, guys. Let's go ahead and jump into, if I can bring my screen back here. Let's go ahead and jump into what is new this week. There is a lots of good stuff that's coming out this week. We've got the Kickboxer 4K Steelbook. Look at that, guys. Van Damme on a Steelbook. It just feels right, doesn't it? We got the Kickboxer 4K Steelbook coming out from Lionsgate for $34.99. It's supposed to be having a lenticular slipcover, that kind of lentics, but it's got great artwork on the inside. And it's a 3-disc set from the looks of it. So, yeah, that's going to be a great release for sure. We got Alien Romulus coming out this week from Disney, the 4K for $29.99. You also got the Blu-ray for $31.77 and a 4K. That's the Blu-ray right there, guys. Actually, different artwork or a different aesthetic with the black on the Blu-ray. And then you got the 4K Steelbook right there for $54.96. We've got Galaxy Quest coming out this week on 4K, guys. I did receive this in from Paramount, and I will be having a review for this up on the channel this week to let you guys know if it's worth it. But this is $24.34, and the 4K Steelbook is right here, guys. This is $24.49. So not much of a difference between the 4K and the 4K Steelbook at all. It's like 15 cents, the difference between those two. We've also got Shaun of the Dead coming out on 4K, getting a re-release from Universal on 4K for $24.99. And getting a 4K Steelbook for $34.39. So this is supposed to add Dolby Vision, and it's supposed to have some new features for the anniversary as well. We've also got Legends of the Fall getting a 4K from Sony for $34.49. We've got the Pulp Fiction limited edition anniversary, 30th anniversary set coming out from Paramount. And this is $59.99. So it's a nice set, you know, $59.99. Maybe it's worth $49.99. I don't know if I'd go as far as to say $60 for this, but it does have collectible stickers, guys. It does have collectible stickers. That might be worth a $60 price tag to get Pulp Fiction. It's got this cool little pop-up thing as well. I don't know. It might be pretty neat. I'm supposed to be getting this one in from Paramount, so I will be doing an unboxing for that one. We've also got The Visit coming out on 4K this week from Kino Lorber for $29.99. Another M. Night Shyamalan film on 4K. We've also got the Disney Plus show Steelbooks coming out this week. The Mandalorian Season 3. We've got Ahsoka, the first season. We've got Loki Season 2. And we've got Hawkeye, the complete first season, all getting 4K Steelbooks from Disney. And these are coming out for 20. No, hold on a second, guys. I said 20. These are all coming out for $49.96. So not a terrible price. I'll go ahead and say, like, I like to pick on Disney a lot, but not a terrible price for shows getting 4K Steelbooks. And there are no Blu-ray options. These are the only options if you want to get these shows on physical media. Now, there are Blu-rays that are included in these releases, but there are no Blu-ray standard options. You can only get the 4K Steelbook. So this is another example of a studio just kind of embracing 4K and embracing the fact that most collectors collect for 4K and just embracing the 4K market and really just kind of leaving behind the average consumer because they assume the average consumer doesn't buy stuff on physical media anymore. So I can definitely see more studios doing this kind of stuff, adopting this mentality as we move forward. But yeah, 4K or bust, Steelbook or bust. You can't get these in any kind of like regular edition packaging, anything like that. It's just Steelbook and it's just 4K to get these Disney Plus shows on physical media. But again, $49.96, you know, it's not a terrible price. We've also got the Wild Robots getting a 4K. This is coming out from Universal on 4K for $29.95 and a Blu-ray for $24.95. We've got The Gift, Sam Raimi's The Gift, coming out on 4K from Shout Factory for $33.80. We got a Pumpkinhead 4K Steelbook coming out from Screen Factory for $29.96. We've got Paris, Texas, a Wim Wenders film coming out on 4K from the Criterion Collection for $34.99. Also, Agur, I'm sure I'm pronouncing that wrong and everybody will make fun of me in the comment section, but Agur, The Wrath of God, getting a 4K release. This is a film directed by Werner Herzog, and this is coming out from Shout Studios for $32.99. And lastly, we have Watchmen Chapter 2 coming out from Warner Brothers, the 4K for $27.95 and a Blu-ray for $22.95. And with that, guys, we are done with this week's edition of the Physical Media Report. I hope you feel more informed in the world of physical media. Please, if you can, drop this video a like, subscribe to the channel, comment down below your thoughts on anything that we discussed here today. Turn on bell notifications for all future videos and follow me on all my social media accounts. Those links are down below in the description, as are the links for everything that we talked about in today's video, everything that has pre-orders, might I add. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.